Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, this is not something that I necessarily like to talk about, not something that I am liking this at all, and this is mostly due to the fact that Elon Musk and Trump are having a war. I would say mostly it's Elon Musk that is just completely crashing out and losing his ever-loving mind. Now, I'm going to go over here and say some opinions about it. It's mostly, and I think that might be the personal best solution, and why this bill may or may not need to pass. Why some of these things here that needs to be doing. I think some may need to clean it up, and I think that's what might actually happen. But I digress. So pretty much what this is that Elon Musk is angry over the big beautiful bill. At least that's what he's alleging. But I think there's a little bit more deeper than that, and I think it's concerning, right? He makes some very huge baseless accusations. I don't know whether it's true or not. I've said it on this channel. If Trump is part of the Epstein files, then he should be charged, right, for those type of stuff, right? But that's neither here or there, and there's a lot of crazy things that we have to go over. So first, we're going to be talking about exactly on Ron Paul talking about, and a lot of these senators talking about the big beautiful bill, how it's bad, and how it's just not really good. That some we have to spend spending or whatever, and what have you. So without further ado, let's just go with this.
President Trump chided Kentucky Republican Rand Paul today for opposing the bill.
Senator, he says that you don't understand the bill and that you love to vote no.
Well, I would say that's not actually true. I would say that I've been pretty consistent in my time in the Senate at being opposed to deficit spending.
He's frustrated. I think he believes, in my judgment correctly, that we're quickly becoming debt slaves, that Congress needs to relearn the magical healing power of no, and I agree with him. Having said that, I'm not ready to throw in the towel on this bill.
Elon Musk was sort of alluding to electoral threats against Republicans who voted for the big beautiful bill. I mean, he spent $290 million in the 2024 election. How much of a threat is this to keeping the majority in 2024?
Look, let me just address the Elon controversy and tell you that I consider Elon a friend. He's obviously brilliant. I just told you we credit him with all the big changes with Doge and everything else. It's curious to me what happened this week. And full disclosure, Elon and I had a great conversation, about a half-hour-long talk on Monday this week. Monday morning, and we talked about the big beautiful bill, because I think he was trying to make a joke a couple of days earlier. It can't be big and beautiful, and I started the conversation. Oh yes, it can, my friend. It's very beautiful. So we talked about all the record level of savings. My friends, no government in the history of mankind has ever cut $1.6 trillion in a piece of legislation. We're doing that here. The extraordinary level of savings and the historic level of tax cuts at the same time, and all these great policy prescriptions. And I talked to Elon through all that and explained to him what we're doing, and that this is just the beginning of a long process of making government more efficient and effective, of cutting wasteful spending, fraud, and abuse. And you can't do it all in one bill. It took Congress decades to get to this situation. It's going to take us a little while to get out of it. But we have a very specific plan to do that. And Elon was encouraged by that conversation. It was a very friendly, very fruitful conversation together. And he and I talked about the midterm elections. And he said, I'm going to help. We got to make sure that the Republicans...
Think about this bill in a 10-year window. That's the budget horizon. We've got about $4 trillion in tax cuts. That's offset by $1.6 trillion in mandatory spending reform, the biggest mandatory spending reform in American history. And then you've got another $2.5 trillion or so in economic growth, which, by the way, the CBO doesn't give us full credit for, because they don't take into account the economic stimulation of tax cuts. Absolutely. So this is a bill that, over the 10-year budget window, actually decreases net deficits. Again, I'd like to decrease that faster. There's more work we can do, but this is a fiscally responsible bill.
Now we're over $37 trillion. We're serious about this. They need to take us seriously. Don't insult us. Work with us. Lay out the numbers. If you can say that our numbers are wrong, fine, let's work through it. But again, every analysis I have, there's greater upside risk to that deficit. interest rates are moving up. If we go increase interest rates 1%, that's another $4 trillion over 10 years in terms of deficit. If we don't replace the $4 trillion, that's $4 trillion of lost revenue. Again, and growing the economy 3%, it adds to it a little bit, but mostly in the out years. So again, come to the table. Let's look at the numbers. If I'm wrong, prove that I'm wrong. But let's do it with respect, but mainly respect for our children and grandchildren. This is immoral, what us old farts are doing to our young people. This is grotesque what we're doing. We need to own up to that. This is our moment. I can't accept this scenario. I can't accept it, so I won't vote for it unless we are serious about fixing it.
Yeah, so that's what we have here. Now, I agree with Elon Musk that the bill that we have currently, at least what we have here, should be decreased in some way, and it should be edited, and it should be adjusted for all the spending that's been currently going on in that bill. I agree with Elon Musk there. However, the amount of stuff that I've been seeing Elon Musk crashing out, saying how tariffs are good, how the tariffs are bad, or etc., is just not a way that I would ever deem to see it. He's acting more like a leftist lunatic right now than he is acting like any other person that's sane. And I'm not saying that like he should have his stuff be attacked or whatever, because that's just asinine. But I do agree that the bill should be cut. I do also say that the Republicans that are, that just want to increase the bill to make their coffers or what have you, and have all this be a thing or whatever, and these random Republicans, yes, these people need to be outed, and they need to be most likely primaried in order to fix an actual bill. And I think that Trump's plan here, as of current right now, is to get this bill passed, tweak it, edit it, get it passed, and then hopefully to get things done within the next year, by 2026, so that way we have a foothold on what we could get some people kicked out and what they added into the bill. I think that is a good thing here, right? So again, it's kind of crazy on how we have Elon Musk losing his mind over it. This is what Trump had to say about this whole situation here, what Elon Musk is doing, whatever. It was mostly mostly of him celebrating and liking Elon Musk of what he's done so far. So it's just making Elon Musk as being crazy. Then after that, I'm going to show you the other parts of this video where Elon Musk is just crashing out and losing his mind, along with a few other stuff here.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best things. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it. Business is spurred. And I don't know if you've seen the numbers, but the numbers came out. Even the CBO, which is run by Democrats, said that we're going to be doing, I'd like you to discuss it, the $2.8 trillion, that CBO. This is a group of people that are Democrats. They're very hostile to us. They just came out with phenomenal numbers, what it does. You want to mention that, Scott?
Yes, sir. So what we've seen is we keep hearing from the CBO that there's going to be a large deficit from the bill, which we disagree with, but using the CBO scoring, they came out and scored the tariff revenue. We think it'll be the minimum of $2.8 trillion over the 10-year window, which actually puts the bill in surplus if you include the tariff revenue, which they won't do.
Legally. So we've done a great job. Elon knew that. Elon endorsed me very strongly. He actually went up and campaigned for me. I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway, even if the governor ran, the real governor, not the governor from Minnesota, he's a sick puppy, that guy. That poor guy, I feel sorry for him. But they made a bad choice with him. But if you pick Shapiro or anybody else, I spoke to him recently about his house being set on fire, which was terrible. But if they picked him, I would have won Pennsylvania. I won it by a lot. But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here. better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars, and it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have all. We want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, he became a little bit different, and I can understand that. But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody, and he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape. He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Mr. President, I just want to clarify, did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy you put in charge of cutting spending. Should people not take him seriously about spending now? Are you saying this is all sour grapes?
No, he worked hard, and he did a good job. And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there, and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office, and he's got nice offices too. But I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it. But we have it with others, too. They leave, and they wake up in the morning, and the glamour's gone. The whole world is different, and they become hostile. I don't know what it is. Someday you'll write a book about it, and you'll let us know.
So as one of Trump's staff members said, that they're not accounting for the surplus or the money that's coming from the tax breaks and the actual tariffs that will be coming in, which they believe is so. And that says that it's already a tremendous cut of over the 10 years of what they've done. Now, I still say that it should be cut more. And they even said that it would be going over the actual bill within the Senate, because all it did was pass the House, and then the House has to essentially, what they have to do is that they have to take things that they don't want or whatever, and that's what they're going to do. But the point being here is that this is just stuff that is, obviously in the talks. So again, if we have this here from the Trump administration of kind of what they've been saying here, it goes pretty much as follows, right? I mean, it goes like this. So we have this here where it says, he did not target any specific members of Congress, but hinted that he might support efforts to unseat those who backed the bill in 2026 midterm elections. In November next year, we fire all politicians who betray the American people, he wrote. So that being said, that's probably giving a signal that he wants to get the bill passed, and whoever put things into the bill or who backed the bill in 2026 midterms, like for instance, things that are added into the bill that shouldn't be there, he wants to primary them or get rid of them. So that being said, it's just going to show that, Trump is thinking ahead of time and kind of what's been going. So without further ado, this is what Elon Musk has been doing. So Elon Musk has pretty much said that this is what Trump said about Jared. He says, I am delighted to nominate Jared Isaacman, an accomplished business leader, to launch philanthropist, pilot, and astronaut as administrator of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, a.k.a. NASA. Jared will drive NASA's mission of discovery and inspiration, paving the way for groundbreaking achievements in space science, technology, and exploration. So, and then this is what Elon Musk had to say about Jared. So, again, this is just really crazy on what you're doing. It says, and Elon, we need you guys on one team. Oh, that's what he said about Jared. Shocking, as if criticizing the golden son-in-law is blasphemy now. Stop worshiping the Polish face of failure wrapped in the titles. Careful, Elon, have you seen Tesla stock today? And, again, this is just stuff that is what's been going on here, right? That's just kind of what we have in a sense. And it's just stupid because I don't see why this is a big issue. So what if he said something about Jared? Even if he's part of your team, I don't see why this is necessarily an issue. Then we have this here. Elon Musk is saying, time to drop the really big bomb with this horrible, baseless accusation. Says Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public, having us shown GJT. So again, that's what else has been going on here, right? Where this is kind of like where they're saying stuff like this. So, and then even the quoting says, so you're saying you willingly worked with a child grabber and kept his secret. This smells like a massive lawsuit, my man. I agree. And then even Dustin says, I was actually more in favor of your stance, but this is pathetic. Unless you provide evidence, you're going to get sued like crazy. And if this is true, why keep it quiet until now? I like you both, but these fights are so stupid. I agree. I think a lot of these fights are dumb, and none of these things make sense, because if you knew about this and you knew this was wrong, and you also let your kid, by the way, go near Trump, like, for example, you let Trump go near your kid even though you knew he was with Epstein and he was with children. You let your kid go near him and you knew he was part of Epstein. I don't have no idea why any parent of rational thought would go inside with somebody that was part of the Epstein list and knew he was around children and stuff like that. That's wild to me. So I don't know why Elon Musk has even make this statement whatsoever. We have this there, of course. It says Elon Musk goes on to say that keep the EV solar incentives, cuts in the bill, also cut all the crazy spending increases in the big ugly bill so that America doesn't go bankrupt. So that's what he's saying here. Okay, so he's been relatively somewhat sane on this, so that's not too far there. He goes on to say here is like, whatever, keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair, but ditch the mountain of discussing pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there has never been legislation that both big and beautiful. Everyone knows this. Either you get a big and ugly bill or a slim and beautiful bill. Slim and beautiful is the way. So again, I think that was what they're going to do. I mean, the Senate is supposed to be going over it and tweak the stuff that's in the bill. That's what a lot of people are kind of ignoring right now, is that they're kind of ignoring the fact that, I mean, I think the Senate's going to go over. And if whatever is added into that bill, punish the senators that put it in. Because again, I understand if we don't get some of these bills passed, then that just means that the Democrats will win if we don't get some of this stuff pushed. So I understand we have to take some sacrifices here in order to do it. It says. He also says, I'm sorry, but I can't just stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous pork-filled correctional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. And then, of course, Trump has been posting very little on Truth Social. He says, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do. And he just went crazy. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies, and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Because, again, this is a lot of money, right? I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses of $1.6 trillion and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness. Agree. And, again, what people have been saying, what the people have said as well, that it also just means that it takes time to fix this stuff. As Steve Bannon calls for Elon Musk to be deported, says Trump admin should investigate Musk's drug use and suspend his security clearance, and they should initiate a formal investigation of his immigration status, because I'm in the strong belief that he's an illegal alien. Which also goes down to probably thinking that Elon Musk or Trump maybe sided with the Rhino Republicans. Who knows? There's a debate up for debate, and this also means that Elon Musk is unhappy. He's not getting the thing that he wants, the things that he really needs, and he's just lashing out and crying about it with just no actual certainty. Like, this is kind of insane here. I agree that we need to get rid of these Rhino Republicans. I think these Rhino Republicans are terrible, and I think I think things are going to up and up. Like I said, I do agree that we need to cut a lot of spending out of this bill. I think that would do America a great justice. I agree with Ron Paul and Elon Musk that the bill needs to be cut, but I don't think the way that Elon is going after this right now is just insane, right? It's just insane right now. I really think Elon Musk is losing his mind. I think he needs to get off of X right now, cool down, and start rethinking about some things. Because, again, I agree that the bill needs to be cut, but Elon is just going about and doing crazy things in the wrong way. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.